Are you ready? I said, are you ready? You are listening to Voice of the Fans Sportscast, brought to you by none other than the voices of the fans. Discussing football, basketball, news, trending topics. The one-stop shop for all things sports. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Hosted by none other than Ben Swift Reynolds, Taylor Gatwood, and Tyler Wright. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Voice of the Fans Sportscast.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Voice of the Fans Sportscast. I'm your host, Ben Reynolds. We have RC and Tyler Wright. What's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Doing good, man. It feel like it's been a while since we, did one. I guess because everybody been busy here and there, and nothing really has been going on, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been kind of slow in sports. But the best football season ever.
You got that right. Everybody thought, everybody had like a favorite team going into the season, and everybody knew the Rams was stacked, but nobody saw the Bengals coming from where they came from. Then us Saints fan, we didn't see all this happening to us in this season. So it's been a while, but it's been a cool season though, especially we don't know where the Saints are heading to into this coming season. So I'm really interested to see how stuff pans out now that the NFC South is wide open with quarterback play, and the Bengals have solidified themselves at the top AFC North dogs. So man, it's gonna be a good season this year, man. It's gonna be a lot of storylines for sure. So I know y'all heard about that Kyler Murray situation here.
Can someone please explain that to me? Because I'm not understanding what a buddy got going.
Apparently, he's not happy about his contract. I think it just came down to money, to be honest. And he's not happy about his contract, so he want to get paid like a top dog. They said his agent came out with a long speech talking about how he want to be in Arizona, how he want to be a Cardinal, and basically he just want a contract extension. And they said the projection contract he wants is for 6 years worth $275 million.
He want what, bro?
Projected contract, 6 years, $275 million.
Okay, I heard you. Does that sound crazy to anybody with me?
He said, I heard you.
For real.
Yeah, that sound wild for sure, man. Because he's not even like the top 10 quarterback. He wasn't in our rankings last year as a top 10. So what make him so sure that he deserving of all this money?
Is he
RC, I know you got something to say about this.
Well, Kyler is I just seen they gave Cliff Kingsbury an extension. So Kyler's extension is coming. They have the same agent. I don't know if people know this. A lot of people know that Kyler and Cliff Kingsbury has this same agent. So that means they got the Cardinals by the balls because your head coach and your star quarterback are represented by the same guy.
Mm-hmm.
That agent's getting he's getting crazy money. And so you think they just gave Kingsbury an extension. You don't think they're gonna give Kyler an extension? They're joined at the hip. So and Kyler knows that. And Arizona isn't just known for having great quarterbacks. And I don't think Kyler can play for anybody but this guy because the system is made for Kyler. It fits him. But he's pampered. He's spoiled. He had baseball at his feet. He had people telling him how great he is, and then he actually made two Pro Bowls, and he put up decent numbers. And he's only 24 years old, so he's reading newspaper clippings, man. I think he pipe it down. Don't worry about that, though. I think the NFL is gonna pipe it down for him. They're gonna keep tagging him. because the Rams made him look like he had just started learning how to play quarterback.
Yeah, he wasn't ready for all that pressure that come in the playoffs. He wasn't ready for that big stage, and that's what that get me kind of scratching my head. Like you coming off where the past couple of seasons you fell off, you disappeared. Now all of a sudden you know it's the people that's around you. They brought in D Hop, JJ Watt, and I forgot that other receiver they brought in. Like they brought in weapons. It's not like they didn't surround him with people. James Conner had a bust out season. So I don't understand his gripe and complain about how the team looks at him or how he feels going up against the top other quarterbacks in his league. I think he's trying to measure himself, and he feeling kind of down himself, especially after that poor performance he had in the playoffs. So yeah, I think he just crying and trying to no, I don't know, take some of the light off of that performance he had. Tyler, what you say, bro?
I was just my thing is I was trying to figure out what he was basing him wanting all this money from. I don't like because I know how some quarterbacks be like, well, this guy he's in my class, he getting paid this much. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember who all was in his
His draft
draft.
class.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, it drawn a blank for
but
me too. Who was
he's not. But he's
I
not.
think he was in the same draft class with Nick Bosa and Debo Samuels for
that's
us.
what it is. It was mostly defensive players.
Yeah, it was a lot
Okay.
I think Josh Allen. I don't think Josh Allen was in his class. I have to look it up. We have to pull it up real quick because that is a good. Who was in that class? I
Yeah,
know.
that's so if whoever was in his class, I think that'll be a good comparison to see where
Let's
he
see.
ranked. But right now he's not even a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying he's not a top 10 quarterback. So maybe he was looking at like quarterbacks in his class or something.
Yeah. And how what RC said was very important. The Arizona, he does have some over Arizona. Arizona don't have a great history of great quarterbacks. I don't know y'all remember I think his name Jake Plummer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Like
remember.
you remember Jake Plummer? Like he
Mm-hmm.
was a baller though, but he wasn't,
He wasn't
that
that.
great. He was one of them gritty type quarterbacks. But everybody saw Jake Plummer as like, dang man, we finally got a good quarterback.
Wow,
That
that's no quarterbacks in that draft.
yeah, that's the problem. That's what he's I think that's what he's thinking. Like, yo, I'm the best quarterback in my draft class. I need to be paid like it. And
No
to be
quarterback
honest,
in the top 20, in the top 32. He was the only one.
The only quarterback.
Well, Haskins was the second guy. Well, no. I'm sorry, Daniel Jones and Haskins. So he basically was the only guy because
yeah,
Wow.
Jesus,
that's a bad draft class for quarterbacks.
it was defensive.
It was all defensive guys. So he can't be doing this though. After that performance, he can't be doing this. But and the other thing is, like I said, he always disappears at the end of the season. So is it him or the team?
I don't know.
Watching Arizona, we played them twice. We play them twice a year. You make him stand in the pocket, he can't see over the D line and the offensive line. You make him stand in the pocket. He loves to get in that bootleg and roll out and make plays. I always say he runs like a toddler. A toddler that got away.
The real short
the baby.
strides.
Yeah, like the baby you put the baby down and just takes off running. Now you're chasing the baby, but he struggles with when a defense forces him to adjust. I watch him. He don't understand like that the National Football League, the pass rushers. You don't have all day to be back there, so you got to get it out. And when it's time to take off and run, he's a small guy. He's taking a lot of licks. So I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get that money because he understands that he might not have a long career playing that position at his size. So
Yeah, especially his size. But I think it was pretty interesting. Well, I know Larry Fitzgerald would never come out and say this, but his dad came out and said this about Kyler. He spoiled I don't know. When I read tweets, they need to start putting like punctuation in this junk because
Yeah.
that's hard to read. I'm about to read it like he typed it. So it's not me, guys. I'm not illiterate. This is how he typed it out. So
Kyler
I'm
Murray?
trying, huh?
Is Kyler's agent or him?
His dad. No, it
Okay.
was Larry Fitzgerald. Larry Fitzgerald's dad came out and said this.
Okay.
So we know Larry probably used to talk to his dad about Kyler. So, but I want, like I said, I'm trying to read this the best way I can. So bear with me. He's spoiled. Brings his Oklahoma offense to the NFL team. Has to catch up. Great talent. He's never been humble. Keep working.
Yikes. Never been
So,
humble.
huh?
You say he's never been humble?
He's never been humble. Keep working.
Mm.
I don't pay a lot of attention to college, so I can't say um that he's humble or not humble. It's just somebody I just overlook. You know what I'm saying? I watch him play, but it's not like something I like. Uh, I put all my attention. I'll break down his gameplay like I do with Josh Allen or Tom Brady or Justin Herbert. He just don't jump off the page to me. That's probably why I don't pay attention to his work ethic or what he do. So that coming from Larry Fitzgerald dad, that's I don't know if that's telling, but to me that's up there though. If Larry Fitzgerald dad came out and said that about you.
Well,
Yeah.
they had let's run down their quarterbacks. They had Jake Plummer was the first guy. Then they had Kurt Warner and they had Carson
Mm-hmm.
Palmer. After that, they had nobody. And
You know what
he's
I'm
out
saying?
there. He's drinking the Kool-Aid, man. He's believing that he's better than what he is. He's a great athlete,
Mm-hmm.
exceptional athlete, but I think it's too soon and too early in your career to be talking like this, to be acting like this. It's the same situation with Baker Mayfield. In their minds, they're Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers already. But
Crazy.
I mean, just because you make the people don't. This is the part about I don't understand about quarterbacks today. You win a few playoff games or you make the playoffs. That don't mean one of the greats. Like
Yeah.
they do Patrick Mahomes. Like you win one Super Bowl, and now you're the best quarterback ever to play because you can throw the ball off the wrong foot and flip it behind your back. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's better than Drew Brees.
that's just stupid, man. That's stupid. So
It really is. How they base these quarterbacks in today's game because they put up yardage or they putting up these touchdowns. Man, win us games.
right
That's what's gonna make you
when they
a great
matter,
quarterback.
yeah.
Winning games. And that's where people at the crossroads with Lamar Jackson. Because, he going out there and do spectacular highlight reel runs. But when it come down to crunch time, they just fold in the playoffs. And teams figuring them out. Like it seemed like they put the clamps on him when it's time to play. He can't get the team over the hump with his skill set. So that's where Lamar Jackson is right now. And these guys gonna understand, like, you gotta stay out of social media. Work on your craft.
Mm-hmm.
Stay off of Twitter, man. Y'all doing way too much talking. You heard what Joe Burrow said, man. Nobody ain't trying to watch our workouts on social
Mm-hmm.
media.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Do it off media, man. Do it. Work in silence. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, move in silence, bro. Like you don't gotta do all that.
they do it for the likes because you get paid for those now. They do it for you know it's crazy because it's like a workout video. You see a guy working out, but it's like maybe 20 seconds, and then he probably don't touch the weight no more because he just did it for the likes. And so when I see Kyler Murray throwing through a tire or hitting a trash can, I mean, you're a quarterback. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, but when it matters, can you execute down the stretch? And
hmm
you can look at Matthew Stafford, Aaron Rodgers. They don't lift any weights. They don't do anything in off season. Probably
They do a lot of band work.
yeah. And then they just understand the game. They know what
hmm
they played it a long time. They understand how to play the position. Get the ball out. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. And so I think the Cardinals, they have the crossroads of if we pay him, is he gonna make our team better when we have to cut veterans and move around star players? Is he gonna still rise up rise up to the occasion and make us a better team, or he gonna need these pieces constantly to make them better. And to me, I fall on they gonna need to keep adding pieces to make him better. 'Cause I don't see him as a type to take the team to the next level where he gonna need the right pieces and the right setup to make everything work.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's why I feel for teams that are looking for a quarterback like the Saints, Steelers. I saw a report that the Steelers were they on hard times, man. The Steelers were looking at Mitch Trubisky, Teddy Bridgewater, and Jameis Winston as their quarterback of the future, or just for the season. Who knows? Tyler, what do you think about those names for the Steelers?
I really feel like Mitch. I feel like Mitch will go somewhere and ball. Call me crazy, but
I'm calling you crazy.
Mitchell Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's not bad to me.
No, he's not, man. Listen, all those guys you named need an offensive line. First of all, what quarterback don't need an offensive line, but they definitely need an offensive line. Give them time. I think Mitch has been put in a bad. He's what quarterbacks look like today is what Mitchell does. He runs out of the pocket and throws the football. I remember, 49ers playing him 2 years ago in San Francisco. He was doing everything. He played well against us. That was our Super Bowl year. So I just feel like he just had to land in the right place. I'm with Guy. I think he may be, because I don't know if what Jameis gonna look like coming off that knee injury. And
you didn't see his training videos?
I don't care nothing about that. We just talked about training videos.
KRC, come on, man. You put out videos.
But look though, you took the quarterback whisperer away from him. Now, how is he gonna look without Sean Payton? I don't trust him without Sean Payton. It's kind of like Phil Jackson with Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman with Phil Jackson. You control that guy. Now, Phil Jackson goes over to Dale Harris, or when he went to San Antonio, when he was without Chuck Daly and Phil Jackson, he was a wild man. So it's like Ron Artest with Kobe. Ron Artest without Kobe, it's crazy, man. So what is Jameis Winston going to look like without Sean Payton?
I can answer that for you.
30 interceptions.
I want to hear this.
I can answer that for you. I want to hear right this now, RC. If Jameis go back to the Saints, he will look like the same Jameis before he got hurt. I don't tell you why. Pete Carmichael is still the OC at New Orleans. Pete Carmichael called the plays when Sean Payton was out. I believe with COVID. He missed the game with COVID. And the year that he was suspended, the Saints had the number one offense in the NFL. With Pete Carmichael calling the plays. So Pete Carmichael going to still create that same philosophy. But I think he might open the playbook more for Jameis. Cause he not like Sean Payton, where everything's got to be perfect, and he's always always on you about turnovers. I think Pete Carmichael gonna let him loose a little bit, so he might actually be better. To be honest,
I don't know about that, because he was in the offense that was kind of loose, and he threw 30 interceptions. Granted, he threw however many yards and 30 touchdowns, but he threw.
But that guy, the Mike Evans and them boys came out and said that half of those interceptions wasn't his fault.
How?
So I think the Saints. I think he go back to New Orleans. I mean, the Steelers to me would be a great fit because he has a big arm. They got receivers. They have a great offense. They have a head coach in Mike Tomlin that knows what he's doing. He's a great coach. He's a player coach. So he gonna coach him up, man. He's not gonna tear him down. So I think Steelers is a perfect station too.
Jameis would probably be the bit. Like it's like RC said. This is barring not thinking about how he's gonna look after the injury. But I think Jameis is the best fit out of those names.
Yeah,
a healthy Jameis. But
would you trade?
I would want to see Mitch over there though.
Would y'all guys, if let's say one of y'all was a GM, let's say the Saints. Let's say you a GM of the Saints. Would you trade for Baker?
I think Cleveland. Um, I don't know if anybody from Cleveland on here, but there's something wrong with that city. It's like Detroit. It's like take the player out of that city or that area, and take the player and put him somewhere else. Maybe a change of scenery is good for him because, like, the Odell Baker marriage was not a problem. It's Cleveland. It's the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine Nick Chubb? He looks good over there, but you take Nick Chubb and you give him to Philadelphia or you give him to whoever needs him, put him in a different market. I think Baker going to New Orleans and getting with, if Sean Payton still has a guy there on that staff that does what he does, give him with the right quarterback, and he might evolve and get better. Because it's a lot of things about quarterbacking that the Oklahoma quarterbacks don't. They just run the offense that I think it's the air raid offense. They used to that. So I think the Saints should do that because their future's on the line. I mean, unless you're going to draft somebody out of this draft, which there's nobody there, you got to make a move. Jimmy Garoppolo, you got to do something. You got to go out to somebody because you're a quarterback away. You're a quarterback away.
We should have made it. We should have drafted a quarterback a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, that's what happened when they don't hire us as consultants. That's all I got to say.
How many years we've been screaming about this?
I've been screaming that for I don't know how long. I lost how many years it's been so long.
We were screaming that when we was going on them Super Bowl runs, them playoff runs.
We've been screaming quarterback and receiver for I don't know how many years.
Yeah.
And look, what's so crazy is with Sean Payton gone, guess what? We might actually draft a receiver in the first round, which is refreshing instead of an offensive lineman. Saquon Barkley, we heard reports of GM coming out and say everybody is available, even Daniel Jones. So hearing this, it making me feel like Barkley might be on the move because he hasn't been able to stay healthy. I don't know if he completed a full season yet.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has. RC, what does this do for the Giants situation?
As far as Daniel Jones?
Saquon Barkley.
Well, I think him having injuries early in his career, it's going to be tough because even though technology is advancing and these guys coming back quicker than they ever have in history, like with Akers coming back off that Achilles, I think with Saquon, what he's going to be facing is somebody wanting to pay him down the road. Like you see Odell's back injured again. You know he's going to get injured again because they're explosive athletes. And you watch Saquon run, it's like, I don't know, like he just runs with so much power. And so it's like, it's a tough situation for the Giants. And he's another guy that I don't think, I hope he don't get injured again, but he's in a tough situation as far as the medical part of it. And they're in a tough situation trying to decide what to do with him. Like he's one more injury away from maybe being out of the National Football League.
Trade him. I'm saying it right now. Trade them while you can. I don't say this.
Be quick to trade somebody, don't you?
Dude, I am. I got itchy trigger figure here. I'll be ready to pull the trigger on trades.
But you got to see if he comes out and have a great year. You trading him?
RC, I don't say this. Devontae Booker was looking better than Saquon when he was getting the touches. He was where Saquon getting 2 yards, Booker was getting 5 with the same old line.
But he's coming off a major injury, so
he didn't. And I'll say this too: he just didn't look the same. He didn't look explosive.
Major injury. That was a major knee injury. Yeah,
that's why you gotta get rid of him. He had too many. Well, he had ACL tear. He had an ankle injury. Didn't he have another ACL tear?
Yeah, he's still on his rookie contract. He's not going to get traded this year. If he don't have a productive year next year, he'll get traded. But this year he won't get traded because he's coming off that major injury. He's damaged goods. They trying to see if he's going to be healthy.
That's why you get rid of him now, because so nobody wants to see how damaged he is.
But who's going to take him? Detroit. You got to Kwame Brown for Pau Gasol somebody.
Oh my God!
What we asking for here? Are we talking about first round, second round pick, Scott? I'm thinking at least a second rounder. I'm not asking for a first round pick. I know I probably won't be able to get a first round pick.
Could they just keep him as like a
a
have
1-2
like a
back?
Yeah.
Yeah, they could, but he gonna command major money because of his name.
You think he can do that? I don't.
Not really.
Yeah.
He's not in a position to demand anything right now. He hasn't played good football since his rookie year, so
He gonna get paid off his name.
Cheap labor right now. I'll try to see what he's gonna do this year, and if he has a breakout year,
I don't even want to see. I'll get rid of him.
Dang,
I ain't taking that
tough,
chance,
bro.
Hey, Saquon, come in my office for a minute, son.
Holler at you.
Don't sit down. Don't sit down, though. Don't sit down.
Don't sit down. It's gonna be a quick. This one will be a quick one.
Like, don't get too comfortable now. You gonna be out of here in a few minutes. Giants is another team, man. They just have years of drought. It seems like they can never get nothing right. If it weren't for Eli, well, what y'all think the Giants organization would be if Eli didn't demand?
Didn't win those 2 Super Bowls.
Well, would they have Phillip Rivers? Would have been the opposite.
What you mean?
Phillip Rivers would have been with the Giants, and Eli with the Chargers.
Yeah, it would have been that. Eli Manning would have been Phillip Rivers in San Diego. He would have played because Phillip Rivers is Eli Manning. You take Eli Manning.
We talking talent wise?
Yeah, they about the same.
They about the same. Like Phillip Rivers is tough. It's more tougher. I'll take Phillip Rivers over.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I said. I think I would take Phillip. I think I'd take Phillip over Eli.
They're not the same because one's smarter than the other. You can clearly see one is smarter than the other. Like
Phillip is smarter.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's a gunslinger too, and he's a hell of a. He was just in the. I'm taking Phillip Rivers. Like Eli had a great defense.
Hey, that's a good poll, guys. Thank you for the weekly poll here.
That is a great poll.
Phillip Rivers versus Eli. I feel like Eli get a lot of clout for his name, though.
So Rivers had. This is what comparable with both players. Rivers had Gates. That's his name.
Yeah, Antonio Gates.
And then Eli had Jeremy Shockey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then Eli had Tiki Barber, and then this guy had LaDainian Tomlinson for the Rivers. The difference here's a difference. One had a real good defense. The other one had a middle of the road defense.
Sloppy.
And that's what. Because can you name somebody off of their defensive side of the ball in San Diego that was better than Strahan, Tuck?
No.
Hold on. Not better, but I guess he was the guy, Sean Marion, when he was healthy. He was the guy. I didn't say he was better. I saying he's the guy.
I didn't even say OC. OC is you got OC. You got
that D line was crazy.
Come on, man.
Yeah, you had Tuck,
and then you had JPP.
Yeah.
So that's what got Eli. That's what got Eli over the hump. Antonio Pearson, linebacker. You had what's the kid that came out of Miami? His last name was Roll, I think.
Antroy Roll.
Okay, you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cromartie. They had Cromartie.
Yeah, young Antonio Cromartie. Yep.
Yeah.
Not Antonio Cromartie. It was the other one. Not Antonio. Antonio with the Jets and the Chargers.
Are you talking about
the other one?
For who?
Is that Rogers Cromartie? Or that's
Rogers
Cromartie?
Right.
Rogers Cromartie. Oh yeah, they did have the other Cromartie.
Yeah. And the Jets and the Chargers had Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Eli, you Phillip didn't have the defense you had, buddy. I would take Phillip.
The Giants had better receivers than
Phillip. Phillip, they had a real good offense. One of them years they was like number one in offense.
The receivers was was it Vincent Jackson?
Yeah. I forget. I remember the Giants.
Cardell. It was Vincent Jackson. I think it was Cordell.
Mm-hmm.
It was another guy too. But their receivers was Vincent Jackson was a beast with the Chargers.
He was a beast. So he had Vincent Jackson. He had he was another guy but
It was a slot receiver. Can't
yeah,
remember the name.
yeah. So, but Eli had Plaxico Burress. He had Mario Manningham.
Mm-hmm.
He had what's my guy that was always doing the dance, the salsa?
Oh,
Um,
Victor Cruz
Victor Cruz. He had Odell at some point. So he had over a period of time, he had better players at the skill position.
at the right time.
Yeah,
Better players at the right time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, Dustin, welcome aboard.
Yo, what's up?
What's going on? I know you ready to drop the NBA knowledge. We switching over to some NBA now. Um, the last couple of games, man, from Sunday to today, has been kind of crazy because they've been generating headlines. First was the Lakers getting blown out by the Pelicans. I want to talk about that because I know it was a couple days ago, but it's still reflecting on LeBron James and on his gameplay
Why?
at that. What'd you say, Tyler?
Why?
Because it's showing up even in yesterday's game. So let's do a recap, right? The Pelicans put a whooping on the Lakers, 123-95. And so y'all, I don't know if y'all know what happened during the game. Some people start heckling the Lakers, and everybody start talking back and everything. Russell Westbrook, Trevor Ariza, LeBron James, all chirping at the fans. But get this, guys. There's a catch to this. You would think it was the Pelican fans chirping at the Lakers, but no, it was the Lakers fans doing all the trash talking.
Hmm.
So LeBron and them boys putting all their focus and attention on the fans instead of playing the game. So that carries over to the Mavericks game where they lost 109 to 104. And you can see LeBron James giving up on certain plays and giving up on the team. So would Jordan let these boys sit on the bench and talk back to the fans and not focus on his butt whooping they receiving?
Them is grown men, bro.
Tyler,
What you mean let?
Jordan punched people over something more less than that.
So, but still, these are grown men. You see what Horace Grant said when he tried to take his lunch.
Man, he did take his lunch. Well, he told the man not to eat. And did he eat? No. He
Okay,
did not eat a crumb.
Okay, but this is my thing. It wasn't that so much. You know, I love LeBron, but my thing about LeBron is his body language. That's the thing I hate. Jordan
It
would
showed
never.
up Tuesday.
Yeah, and I think with him being who he is, that really affects the rest of the team when he just like walking up the court, like
MJ have punched people over stuff more or less of what those guys were doing Sunday night, talking back to the fans. Dustin, I know you saw the video of LeBron and Westbrook and Trevor Ariza chirping back at the fans. What you thought about all that interaction going on while they were getting blown out?
I mean, first of all, I cut out for a minute. I had to call back in, but
Mm-hmm.
as far as that, I mean, they need to be more. They need to be more concerned with the play and interacting with each other and interacting with the fans. I mean, for that display, it costs money. It's not like going to down to New Orleans and watching a Pelicans game. It
Yeah,
costs money in the Staples Center, especially for courtside. So I didn't really get that. At that point, like K Dot said, be humble. And
exactly. And the thing about it, they were arguing with Laker fans. It wasn't Pelican fans. It was Laker fans giving them a hard time.
Man,
I
listen to
don't
me,
blame
man.
them. It
Listen
was
to
it
me,
was
man.
horrible.
Listen to me,
RC, go
man.
ahead. What you
I'm a
saying?
Laker fan before, like, it's hard merging the two worlds, the LeBron circus and the Laker fan circus. Laker fans are a circus within themselves. And I'm going to tell you like this. Kobe played in that environment. Shaq played in that environment. Magic, the greats played in that environment. And LeBron won a championship in a bubble, an AAU tournament. He won a bubble championship. So there was nobody there. So everybody's on the digital screen. Listen to this now. Everybody's
They
on
play the
digital
AAU
screens.
championship there, in a matter of fact.
Right. So you got digital screens on walls, and you got fans calling in or and they chiming in digitally. And if you got great Wi-Fi, you could hear the fans. He wasn't used to that. Now you're back into the real world, and people are telling you, "Hey, you're 37 years old. You can't do it anymore." That's supposed to motivate you. But this is the problem I have with guy. You put this team together. You went and got everybody know in history, nobody has ever won with Russell Westbrook. Nobody, no superstar. And then
Facts.
nobody ever wins with aging players. Ever. How you they playing major roles. You got Trevor Ariza, who was once a Laker. They had a Laker fan reunion. They brought every Laker that used to be a Laker back except JaVale McGee. Other than that, they might bring back Jody Meeks like next year. They're gonna bring back
Oh my
everybody
god.
because they just
That's
LeBron. He's trying to reassemble. He's trying to. I don't know what the hell he was doing with this roster, man.
Yeah, and
And
that was my
I,
thing. You know, do y'all remember how they guarded Russ in the bubble, bro? How the Lakers,
Yes.
they,
yeah,
LeBron specifically, was guarding him in the bubble, and then
the
Bron go
scouting
get him.
report.
but you
Come
know
on,
why
man.
nobody's talking about this, man? And maybe I'm assuming. And I wish I could look Kendrick Perkins in the face and tell him this, because he just loved LeBron because he played AAU with him when he was 14. He tells Stephen A. that all the time. But this guy is chasing Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's trying to get that record. If he signs DeMar DeRozan and they get Buddy Hield, that takes shots away from him. But see, this year you take a down
Mm.
year and you pad your stats to get close, and then you go after it next year with that 1,200 or 1,300 points you need while chasing an NBA championship. You can do both. This man knows his legacy. He know what he's doing, and Russell Westbrook is the perfect person to be a fall guy. You can bring him in. I believe LeBron knows this, man. He's smarter than this.
To that point, I would say I agree, disagree.
Mhm.
I feel like LeBron, when he constructed this team, I think for one, I think it's more important for him because I think his main person he want to catch is Jordan, and he knows he's not gonna ever be in that discussion amongst like the '90s or the majority if he doesn't get 6 championships. So I did think he went into the season. I do think he wants to win championships as quickly as he can. But with that being said, like you said, LeBron is very smart.
Yes.
I think he said, well, if I don't win a championship, if I can't get the championships, I can break the record. And guess what? If we just happen to be a bad team and I break the record, then I can
So
point the
be it.
finger at Russ.
Yes.
So it was a win-win kind of situation for him.
So y'all answer this. If you take a 37-year-old Michael Jordan, a 37-year-old Kobe Bryant, and you give them this exact same team, everybody's healthy. I'm gonna tell you how it's gonna go. You give Kobe Bryant, Russell Westbrook, who loves Kobe Bryant, first of all. You give Anthony Davis to Kobe Bryant. You give everybody else that he has a washed up Carmelo Anthony. They're gonna play up. They're gonna practice. Gonna be real intense. He gonna piss them off. He gonna get on their nerves. Mike gonna be punching them in the chest. That's not happening in LA because that night they all met up and drunk wine and smoked marijuana. You do dumb stuff when you're high and drunk. Somebody forgot to tell them that Russell Westbrook plays a certain style, and if you don't play that style, he's really self-check. He can't stand in a corner and shoot jump shots. That's not who he is.
Hmm.
You can't ask Carmelo Anthony, hey man, go guard a young Giannis Antetokounmpo or Julius Randle or go guard somebody. He don't guard at this point in his career. You can't ask Dwight Howard just to be big on the bench. Like you brought the man in to sit on the bench, and then Kendrick Nunn, all these guys, Taylor Harden, Tucker, they don't fit. They all need the basketball, man, and it's LeBron's fault. And for one time, can we criticize guy without people saying, well, his numbers and he's Martin Luther King off the basketball court. He screwed up. He messed
Yeah.
up. He made a
Somebody
mistake.
said in there fired the GM. And they talking about LeBron.
But they gonna throw Rob Pelinka under the bus,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
who put the
definitely
he just did what he was told to do. You can see it.
and Frank Vogel.
Man, listen, Frank Vogel is lucky too, because that should have been Ty Lue's job. And and the Lakers chose Frank Vogel
Speak
over
on
Ty
it.
Lue. That's stupid.
Speak on it.
That was the first mistake. Ty over there
Well,
winning. Ty over there winning with God knows who. You don't even know who the people are over there. He winning.
And
He winning.
they told us LeBron was carrying him.
I
And I love me some LeBron.
you know, well, you remember when Frank Vogel came over? You know, I originally thought, if you remember, they brought Frank Vogel over with Jason Kidd, and I
Mm-hmm.
thought what they were gonna do was fire Frank, but he won that championship that first
Mm-hmm.
year.
Saved him.
Um, and then they were going to hire Jay Kidd, but it just so happened Jay Kidd got a head coaching job before they could fire Vogel.
But
And
think
I
about
think
this.
that was the hope.
Before we go into the bubble, before Kobe passes, the Lakers are like third or fourth in the West, and they're dropping because they're getting beat. Teams are starting to beat them. And Kobe passes, and Leonard comes in there. Leonard comes in there and blasts them in LA. And then we go away for 3 months. And you come back after 3 months, you're healthy. Anthony Davis is healthy. You're gonna win a championship if Anthony Davis is healthy. But once they came out of the bubble, they haven't really they've never jailed. They've never really been a good fit together, a good match, because Anthony Davis don't want to play on the block, and LeBron needs him down low. He needs him on that block. He's not going. So
Nowhere near that block. So that
Well, I
is
don't know why he's not playing on the block because his jumper
he
this
too
season
big
has
now. That
been broke.
He's scared. He don't want to get banged up.
Cameron, me, Dusty,
Giannis shooting better than
mm,
Anthony Davis is right now.
if,
like
let's
like
say
me and
this, if you
yeah,
take
go ahead.
Giannis, sorry man, if you take Giannis and you put LeBron with Giannis at 37 years old, LeBron will win 4 championships easy because Giannis
Hmm.
gonna play hard every night. And he ain't the Walking Dead. I mean, Anthony Davis been hurt his whole career. So it's like, why would you go after a player? That was another dumb decision by LeBron. Why would you go after a young player that stay injured?
And another thing I don't get is if you look at Anthony Davis's shoe choices, like
Yes.
this man
Come on, man.
6'10", you a power forward center. Why are you wearing
Low top
Kobe's?
Come
Kobe's.
on, man.
Exactly, low top
He
Kobe's.
need the ones. You remember
When
the
you
ones
got a
that strap all
history
the
of
way
ankle
up your
issues,
ankle?
oh yeah, I
Wow.
remember those.
Yeah, he need them.
For real, for
Wow.
real. I don't know why he's wearing low top Kobe's. Like he with a history of problems. Like that makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah,
This
you
man needs to be in high tops with an ankle brace every game.
apparently it doesn't matter where he's at. He gonna find a way to get injured, just like he fell off a surgery table. I still can't wrap my head around that. I need a better story on that.
Oh
How you
man,
hurt yourself falling off a surgery table?
he got to be doing
Hmm.
that stuff on purpose at this point, man.
Like that don't make sense. RC, does that make sense? You get.
Man,
I never heard somebody fall off a surgery table and hurt the other ankle.
Come
Well,
on,
hold
man.
on. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz. I never seen a man sprain both his ankles in life. Carson Wentz did it in foot. I still to this day don't understand how you sprain both of your ankles in a game. Like you always hear one person right or left ankle. This guy, that should be a
Both
record. Like so it's possible.
him and AD they competing because I never heard a story like that before. Like, did the doctors not put you on the table right? Were you getting up? Were you? I don't know. I know if I was LeBron, I was like, bro, what's going on with you, man?
he should have. They should have before he had that most recent injury. They should have traded him. They should
Yeah,
have
that's what they
traded
talking about for
AD.
deadline. They should have got rid of
They
AD
should
when
have.
they're
They
talking about
should have
their
gotten rid
package.
of him. They should have gotten rid of him and gotten like a Jalen Brown or something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, they should have gotten rid of AD. And
Well,
now they stuck because like his trade value is heavily
Dropped
diminished.
off.
Oh, and I want to say it is possible to win with an older team, but you have to have like a young one, at least one young up and coming piece. Because the
but
Spurs did it. The
but in
Spurs
this
did it.
in this era of
And
basketball right
Miami
now,
did it.
but in this era right now, those guys won in an era and a time where it was coming out of that transition is kind of like we talked about in previous conversation about the game manager quarterback is dead. You can't win with a game manager anymore. Not a Super Bowl. Well, right now, the way as fast as Ja Morant is playing, as fast as LaMelo Ball is playing, the way everybody is on their head every night. I mean, Giannis play basketball harder than anybody every night. The Lakers come in tired, worn down. They got a lot. You can look at them and tell they don't get going to the second half, and they down 30.
But that's the thing with the Lakers though. It's painful to watch them because I mean, you just look at the lack of effort. They play with virtually no heart. They
Mm,
have no heart.
bad shot
Um,
selection.
they just want to come in, jack up threes,
They
and
got bad. They
then
be tired. That's why they got bad shots.
I mean, but even so, I mean they're gonna. I mean, well, that's on Frank Vogel with the rotations and stuff. But I mean, there's no heart. They don't seem to be. Well, obviously they're not meshing together. And then, it's really no. I don't see any real leadership besides LeBron, the only one really playing well. And then, no one is intimidated by them. Like they were saying, I think maybe Stephen A. or Kendrick Perkins was saying, like these young players and young teams are going into the crib looking like I'm gonna have a big game tonight. Like I want to have a big game against LA, and I don't. Besides, like a very select individual, select individual players, like a Kobe or a T Mac or
Mhm.
Allen Iverson. Like when young players were going up against Jordan, they didn't have that type of attitude.
Of
Mm-mm.
course not. They knew they was
Even
in
even with even with the before Tim Duncan retired, like even with that Spurs team, like
Mm-hmm.
even the younger players going in, like, hey, we got to be on our game tonight. Like we're playing San Antonio.
But LeBron has made the league so buddy. Like, watch how he
I
pick his
hate
All Star
that.
team. He got the All Star team. He picks the All Star team. And see, I'm one of the guys who try to speak up for him, and then I realize pump your brakes because competition, being competitive, me and you going up against each other, we could be friends after the game. We could be friends later on after the season. But right now, we're going after a championship. And that's not in the NBA right now. Everybody wants to, like James Harden over in Philadelphia. That's going to work in the regular season. When it's really time for the James don't show up when it counts, when it matters, when the game slows down. They're not
Here we
calling
go.
foul. So, but that's the same thing LeBron has to understand. You talking about an older team, but these guys may just be waiting on the playoffs. But you got to get to the playoffs. See what I'm saying? You got to make the
Yeah.
playoffs. The season is so long. They're trying to save their bodies and preserve their bodies so they can flip that switch. But I mean, teams on your head every night, man. I'm talking about it's some names scoring 30. I'm like, who is that? Like
Let somebody pop off like that. It's unheard of. But you mentioned Harden and them boys, right? Well, did y'all see that game that Harden put up a triple double? Right, he had
Uh,
16 assists. Right, so it seems like our calculations might be kind of off about him.
mm-mm.
Or
Nah,
are y'all still beating that dead horse?
nah, I'm rolling with mine,
no,
buddy.
that did. I mean, that's
Getting
that's
a little
that's.
used.
Remember when he first came to Brooklyn?
Hmm.
Remember those first
Preach.
few games
Hey, talking about
remember those that first kind of quarter of the season with
Mm-hmm.
CP3?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it always starts. But we
but
know how it ends and we know
you
how it's
saying
gonna
that now,
end.
but you seeing how well him and Embiid are working together. The dude had
You ever seen Boys
29
in the
points,
You ever
10
seen Boys in the
rebounds,
Hood?
16
You,
assists.
you ever
This
seen
is the
Boys in the Hood?
pattern though.
You ever seen Boys in the Hood? Ricky always die. He gonna get shot.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
gonna. It don't matter how many times you
Oh
turn it
my
Right.
on.
goodness.
You gonna get
Preach.
shot in the back again and again and again because
Exactly.
because what? First of all, his conditioning is
Facts.
horrible. He don't take care
He's
of
a
his
new
body.
man. How can you
Okay,
say he's a new man? He's slim. He started working out again.
Yeah.
Like, dude
it's
have really
not that.
changed this whole aspect though.
What always goes on James Harden? His what? His
Work ethic.
hamstrings. His hamstrings always go. He got the worst hamstrings in history. Every year his hamstrings go. So what are you doing? I can think of a couple things that'll put your hamstrings in the bind. You stay in the strip club. So like
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
so
goodness.
but this my deal with him. Until I see him do it in the playoffs consistently, He ain't did it the first time yet. He hadn't showed up the first time in the playoffs.
Never.
So he gonna show up this year in a loaded Eastern Conference.
I don't.
Well, right now,
The only argument I have against that, when he was playing in Houston, he dribbled so much. When it came,
he's not doing that now, though.
But that's what I'm saying. That's my argument. That's the only way I could say he might do something in the playoffs this year. But from track record,
the Philadelphia 76ers gave away Seth Curry, Andre Drummond, 2 draft picks. They got robbed.
But they got blown out 2 nights ago.
To my Brooklyn?
By the Raptors.
To my Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Brooklyn now. Because Brooklyn just got their future set. Everything's set for them. They ain't worried about nothing.
Brooklyn be straight.
Philadelphia got to win now. And how you going to win without a bench? You got rid of your best shooter. Then let's say a team decides, let's say one of those guys get in foul trouble. Or one of those guys gets injured. Or say one of those guys are not going. You're done. Who going to save you?
Thibault? Playoffs.
Thibault say that a couple times. Thibault going to save you.
Thibault. Hey, don't be making fun of that, man.
They right, though, because like the reason why James Harden doesn't have any success in the playoffs is because he only knows how to play one way. And when the playoffs come, the difference is between the regular season, you have a chance to specifically plan for him over the course of 4 games. And when that happens, he hasn't since he's been in the playoffs, he's never performed up to a standard. He may have 1 or 2 good games, and then he just kind of falls off because they have time to focus in on his game because all that dribbling. Dribble.
Man, that bench,
he's not gonna be dribbling that much. He's not gonna be dribbling that much like he was in Houston.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the same.
Right, and I'm saying
the offense gonna flow.
But they're gonna have time. They best play between him and Joe Wells the pick and roll. Team's gonna have time to plan for that pick and roll.
Max,
you know how effective that pick and roll.
And they're gonna have to. I mean, Joe Will already putting in major minutes this season.
Max is nice too. Now.
History when he's all right.
All right. So
but I mean, you don't want that right now because I mean, other teams in the East have benches, and I just don't see Philly.
I've seen teams with deep benches get beat.
Oh no, that's gonna be their only downfall because they match up. They starting 5 match up with anybody in the league.
So
they winning right now. So check this stat line. They beating the Knicks. It's 112.
They beating the Knicks.
Yeah,
the Knicks. I'm just saying. The Knicks have great young talent though.
No, they don't play the Knicks 2 nights in a row. So answer this for me. I don't. There's no Charles Oakley, no Patrick Ewing, no John Starks, no Allen Houston, no Trell Sprewell. The Knicks ain't been good. They weren't good last year. It was just the Eastern Conference was so bad.
They almost made it to the.
So, yeah, almost made it, but they were never going to make it, man. Trust me. They're going to figure out. You can't have a team where you got guys. You got the best defense. At one time, they had the best defense in the league last year. They just defenders, and you had Derrick Rose, but. I'm thinking about the Rockets when I see Philadelphia. For some reason, I can't get that out of my mind. They're going to be really good. They're going to be really special. And then they're going to get to Chicago or Milwaukee. Or even they're going to keep their eye on Atlanta's of the world. Because teams play different. Everybody's trying to get to the playoffs now. Miami, they do not match up with Miami at all. They do not want to play Miami. Because Miami
they don't want Miami.
They're going to put PJ Tucker on James, and it's gonna be over with. They're gonna
right now. If the playoffs started today, Philly would be playing Boston. I give Philly the edge over Boston.
Yes,
they beat Boston.
Who would the Nets have?
The Nets would have the Heat.
The Nets will beat the Heat.
I don't think the Nets are.
I don't
think the Nets gonna be like y'all think they. They can score a lot of points, but their defense sucks though.
The Sixers can keep up, but when if they play the Nets, I don't know who gonna start, but y'all know the Nets has got Goran Dragic. They 3-guard rotation is Goran Dragic, Patty Mills, and Seth.
It doesn't matter if you can't stop another team.
Well, I will say this. First round, I will say this: Brooklyn needs to get out that spot. I don't think first round. I don't think anybody would want to see the Heat. I wouldn't want to see the Heat the first round because they play with heart. They play hard every night. They get it from Jimmy Butler, Bam, Tyler Hero. The Heat a solid
Yes.
team. I don't really see them as a champion winning a championship.
Mm.
Like for the first round, I wouldn't want to see them. I wouldn't want to see them because they gonna go in there energized and all that. I'd rather them play against the Bulls. Brooklyn, I think they have a better chance of beating the Bulls. I'm not saying they couldn't beat the Heat, but I like their chances better going
So
against the Bulls,
let's say
especially if Kyrie can't. If Kyrie isn't still full time.
let's say Kyrie shows up, Ben shows up, KD shows up, and it don't matter who else show up. Just those guys there.
For real.
Okay, you take
Yeah.
now take Philadelphia. Let's say they got a 7-game series. Ben's gonna be very motivated, but also Ben don't have to be the guy. I can go get all the rebounds. I can get us into our offense because all I am is a Draymond Green on steroids. 6'10". I'm gonna get us into our offense. I can rebound. I can score. He don't have to shoot 3-point shots. That's the thing about Ben Simmons. I wish he get better people around him. Man, you got a 15. Get with DeMar DeRozan and Kawhi Leonard and work on your 15-foot jumper and live to fight another day.
I've been working
He
with Kyle Korver.
he fixable. When you get to James Harden, it's getting
Hold
worse.
on.
He's not, bro.
Hold
Listen.
on.
Listen, James Harden is going to let you down again and again and again. He is the NBA's version of when I think about him, he's the guy. He's kind of like in the National Football League. He's my Jimmy Garoppolo. He's a stat guy. You look at stats and numbers and you say it's fooling you. If Jimmy's in the NFC Championship game, he could win, and then he does what he does. You'd be like, it's an egg sucking dog every time. Watch your guy's an egg sucking dog. You might well go ahead and realize that he gonna let you down again on national television. You're gonna be scratching your head like, why is his hamstrings keep going out in game 5 or 6? Like, I don't believe I don't trust
I'm
guys.
gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. They're gonna get eliminated the second round.
Who?
Philadelphia. They're gonna get eliminated the second round.
Man,
In
you already gonna open
in
lunch
6
anyway.
games.
It doesn't matter what you say, what you feel
In
like.
six games, and I guarantee you 110% James Harden is gonna shade Doc Rivers and make it his fault. And Doc Rivers is gonna get fired. I guarantee you.
Man,
110%.
And
that's the
James
worst thing I ever
and
heard in my life.
and
That's a whole
James
bull
110%.
is
crap.
not signing back with Philadelphia. He's coming to the Clippers. Like he's going to the West Coast. He's not signing. When they traded him, they didn't pick his option up, so he's out of there. James not staying in Philadelphia. Man's cold. He's getting out of there, man. If they don't win it with him now, I don't see him staying with. I saw a comparison that they were saying it's the new Shaq and Kobe. Man, get out of here.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, you can see the numbers
blasphemous.
right now.
Man, that's
Ben,
blasphemous.
you
Stop
wildin',
that,
bro.
man. That's blasphemy.
Look at Tyler
Stop
coming
that.
in. Man, come on.
Okay, I give you this. Maybe that fourth year where they didn't win a championship. I give you that one.
Why?
Wasn't y'all so sure of the Nets last year?
No.
And look, y'all not even gonna get Kyrie back because the New York mayor even came out and said, "I love to have Kyrie can come play, but it was gonna send wrong message to everybody else that been following the rules."
But listen,
So
man.
Kyrie's not playing anytime soon, guys.
But it's a dumb rule though.
Yeah.
So
But it's a dumb
if you
rule, but
not
the mayor's not
vaccinated,
budging. I'm
if
sorry, guys.
if you not vaccinated, but you from somewhere else, you can come play.
Can't say the V word.
But
You can come play.
But answer this for me. So James Harden compared to Kobe Bryant. Somebody comparing Kobe Bryant to James Harden. That's a Volkswagen Jetta
No, the
and a
young
Ferrari.
Kobe.
No, I
Not
don't give a care which Kobe you give me. You don't compare. That's the closest thing to Michael
Blasphemy.
Jordan. So you saying
That's disrespectful.
wait. So
the
you
number
saying
8 Kobe.
You saying James Harden is close to Michael Jordan?
I didn't say that. I'm not saying
Okay,
he's so
all right,
close, though.
maybe
Tracy,
I don't-
maybe.
No, hell no, not even Tracy.
Oh man, no, stop it, man.
But
Don't you dare respect Tracy McGrady.
He
But
not
watch
in
this.
top 75.
He should have been.
Yeah, he
man,
should have
come
been.
on.
he should
Man, don't disrespect
I'm
Tracy
just
McGrady
messing,
like
man.
that.
Yeah, he should have been top 75.
So
Tracy.
and then Joel Embiid, who is this new version of a big man, and you got Shaq. Man, listen, Shaq was so dominant that they had to invent stuff to stop him. So with Joel, Shaq having to get on Joel's ass to play ball, talk crazy to him. They have to make him mad, make him upset. Shaq came to the arena upset with 2 cheeseburgers. Like these dudes are different. You can't compare. I don't think Kobe. I think Kobe, man, God rest his soul, man. He's the most unappreciated, disrespected
Agreed.
player, man. There's no way. I remember a guy tried to convince me that James was a better one-on-one player. I'm like, listen, Kobe was the
No way.
most selfish player. He shot out of a triple team. Like he used to
And
He
would
make
didn't
make
have to
it.
try. He didn't have to travel to create separation.
man. Listen, this man was shooting in the game with his left hand. Like it's like James to me, if he can't get to the foul line and he can't get that step back off, I don't fear anything else. I don't fear a post game. I don't fear, the dribble moves to me is like watching Luka dribble. Just slow and methodical. It's not Kyrie Irving type dribbling. So
Yeah, that's true.
I don't understand what you're watching, man. He don't scare nobody. Nobody in the league is scared of James Harden.
I'm putting my money on Embiid carrying helping out hard, and it's working. And
And
and so far I've been right.
we forgetting about Doc Rivers, who's had great superstars, and outside of Boston, he's done nothing.
Well, he was dealing with emotional divas
No, no,
in
no,
L.A.
no, 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 no,
What?
no. You were up
Yeah,
3-1. You was up 3-1 against San Antonio. Drop that ball. You like every time you have people dead in the water. You let them back. You revive them some way. Like
And he
even
don't
with
make adjustments.
man, listen. You had Kawhi Leonard and Paul George.
Paul George, he played terribly.
No,
That's not on
no,
Doc Rivers.
no,
That's on Paul
no,
You talking
George.
about last year?
no,
You
no,
talking? Are you referring to last year?
no.
Or are you
I'm
talking about
referring
the Doc Rivers year?
Doc Rivers, you're in the bubble. Like, listen, in the bubble where there's no fans, no pressure, no road trips, the media's, everything's in house. And they went down to the bubble and struggled with the Mavericks, and then got eliminated by the Nuggets. Was it the Nuggets? They had the Nuggets down
Yeah, the
3-1.
Nuggets.
In the
Yeah,
bubble.
no.
In the bubble, you let a team come back and beat you in the bubble. Nah, man.
I don't think they had Murray, did they?
Yeah, it did.
They
And
did.
Murray was there. Murray
Yeah, he
was
got
there.
hurt against the Lakers.
Oh, you got hurt against the Lakers. Okay. Well, that was a good talk right there. But we're gonna see because I got my money on the 76. I know Tyler and
Somebody's gonna get paid off you, so they gonna get lined up.
Hey, RC, let me tell you about my track record on the pod now. I'm batting 100 right now.
Really?
So yeah, I
I
don't
brought
lose
you.
bets on here.
I done brought you some
You
bad
lying.
luck, then.
You can ask Tyler about them Chick-fil-A mini breakfast nuggets, whatever they
You
call them.
lying.
Yeah, Tyler know all about the losing bets on the pod. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna win this one too, Kyle. Like I said, I got a pretty good dang on
So
track
what's the
record.
bet? What's the bet now?
If whoever making the farthest, 76ers or the Nets, and whoever team making the
Okay.
farthest, they gotta buy the person something to eat. So basically,
Okay.
that's the
Well,
bet.
I
We
think
call them meal bets.
you're gonna win the
So
bet, man. You're gonna win this bet
I'm
too.
about to get 2 meals. I'm about to be eating good. That's all I'm about to say.
You're gonna
I'm
win
about to be
that bet
eating
because
good.
the Nets gotta make the playoffs first.
Yeah, the Nets are struggling. They lost back-to-back games. I know KD. He's coming back next week. I think next week. He coming back next week. They already lost 2 games in a row, and they ain't.
When is Ben Simmons playing?
I think he's considered week to week, but I think they're gonna.
Yeah, week to week.
I
There's
think
always a mental
they
issue with
they
that
they
guy.
trying to. I think he's fine, but
Yeah,
they're
sure.
trying to keep up that facade so he don't have to
Mm-hmm.
play against
He
Philly.
talking to his therapist.
Hmm.
He don't want to
That's what
play
he
against
doing.
Philly. Yeah, he
With
don't
that
want to
being
play
said,
against
I
Philly.
already know Tyler and Dustin have the Nets coming out the East because that's what they put their bet on. RC, who you have coming out the East to go to the championship?
Milwaukee. They're the champions.
I like that too. That was my second. They was my first to Harden in that trade, so I went with 76ers this
Man,
time. But yeah, I like the Bucks too.
they really they have everything. And then they added pieces that really fit with what they do. So until somebody dethrone the King of Zamunda, I'm riding with them.
Yeah, I do like Milwaukee. They probably be my second pick.
Yeah, that'll be my second pick too. I mean, you just can't go wrong with Giannis. How he just been dominating the game. I mean, dudes. I mean, his moves are straight to the point, and they get the job done. That was that old school basketball used to be. You know, we
Yeah.
just go straight to the point, and score the basket.
Yep.
Nothing fancy.
That's why I don't know what Charles Oakley was talking about Giannis would come off the bench in the night.
I don't know
Man,
what. Yeah, that was ignorant. Charles
Man, that
Oakley
dude
always
there,
talk,
man.
just be
They trying
talking.
to sell a book. He trying to convince people that Charles Barkley is soft. We all know that's a lie. Like that dude, man, just need to go lay down. Like
Yeah, I never liked Charles Oakley. He always got on my nerves, man.
I mean, if Charles Oakley started in the '90s, Giannis would start in the '90s over Charles Oakley.
exactly.
And
Come on
Charles
now.
Oakley wasn't that good. He was just a
No,
defender.
Yeah,
man,
an enforcer.
Yeah, he
yeah,
was. Yeah, my bad. He wasn't a defender. He was an enforcer. That's all he was.
the bodyguard on the basketball court.
Like at least Ben Wallace did do some defensive drills, and like he was defensive player of the year. What Charles Oakley do?
Nothing.
Nothing. So I couldn't stand him, man.
A glorified bully,
Exactly. And he still act like how an old man still act like this.
man.
Like let this junk go, bro. Where happened to you in your life? Let it go, man. Let these young guys have their moment. Cause Giannis, man, he deserve all this. For real,
Yeah,
he put in the work, and he trying to take that away from that man.
that man got a
That junk's
most
crazy.
improved and an MVP trophy in his trophy case. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy right there in itself. Like I worked my butt off.
Mm-hmm. Like well, how? And then he discredited Giannis like out of all people.
Yeah.
I
I
don't see
never
how
heard
anybody
nobody
could.
just hate
I don't see
Giannis.
how, yeah, I don't see how you could discredit Giannis.
Probably only player in NBA history who has the most improved and an MVP trophy. I mean, I was the worst to the best. You know, I just worked my butt up. Man,
Yeah.
Charles Oakley is irrelevant, man. You should have said Anthony. Mate, somebody else on that Knicks team need to talk. He needs to shut up. Like
He should have said something about AD than Giannis. That's probably what he should have went with. He should have went that route. And
He
people
just
like,
need,
oh,
he
yeah,
just need to
okay.
stop talking about this new age, bro. He be
Yeah.
this ain't the first time he said something like this.
So
Yeah,
Charles
true.
Oakley, he done had it. He don't have that kind of. He don't have that type of rank.
Yeah.
You can't speak on these players.
They're too hard on these guys, man.
They
They're too
are.
hard. Like they too hard on them.
Who y'all Dustin, who y'all coming out the West?
Ooh, that's tough. I ain't gonna lie to you.
I have
Ooh,
no clue to be honest.
I got an easy answer for y'all. Y'all
it-
want?
it's,
I got an easy answer.
I got one. Yeah, go ahead. Whoever. I think we on the same page. I think we're gonna say the same team.
But you got Phoenix.
No.
Ah.
It's one of
Dustin Tyler like, oh man. Hey,
Phoenix.
CP3 his boy. That's why he
Phoenix.
said that.
Phoenix,
You know.
Phoenix and Golden State. One of those two teams are coming out of there, bro.
Yo.
most
I have
definitely.
Golden State.
I got Golden State too, because they're gonna unleash Wiseman. Wiseman can play right now. They just holding. They don't need
No
him.
need to.
I
They
mean,
in the game without him.
I'd probably go with Golden State if my life depended on it.
Nobody ain't going with Memphis. Nobody ain't
No.
throwing that dark
Why
horse.
y'all going with Golden State over
Memphis gonna be
Phoenix?
tough now. Memphis gonna be tough.
Why y'all going Golden State over Phoenix though?
Because they
Phoenix,
have.
man,
Go ahead. My bad.
Chris Paul sometimes he just be unavailable when you need to be available.
That's fair.
I didn't say that. I'd
That's
say
fair.
I'd say usually Steph just get the best of CP3, man.
Yes.
Well, he did break his ankles.
Steph just usually get the best of CP3, man.
And
He
it's-
has
Steph
skating on ice.
Steph just
Some-
usually, I don't know. Yeah, it's like it's some. I don't know. Steph just plays some of his best basketball when he playing against Paul.
And it's something about same thing we talked about James Harden not being available, not showing up in the playoffs. Chris Paul is going to get hurt. At some point, something gonna fall off his body.
He's already out.
So I really feel like that's gonna be the difference. I mean, Phoenix is tough, they're young, they're competitive, but Golden State got a real shooter.
Wasn't Chris Paul injured last year too, but he kept playing?
Played through
It was his shoulder, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He hurt his shoulder, his
Mhm.
finger, something else. Yeah, I just like they play a real good brand of basketball.
Yep.
They
You
do.
gonna have to beat Phoenix. They're not gonna beat themselves.
Well, they
they
kind of
do.
did beat themselves in that last couple games.
They figured out how to lose.
Yeah, they
They wouldn't
collapsed.
adjust. They wouldn't play a zone. I mean, it wouldn't have hurt.
And they were
Giannis is
trapping Booker
Giannis
when
is
he got close
walking
to the
down the
paint.
paint. Um,
Oh, Giannis was killing Aiden.
you gotta hit,
He took that man lunch money that series.
but the Golden State too. Draymond's coming back. Wiseman will be there. Clay's back. Peyton is playing well. Poole is playing well. They got a real shooter. They got experience from playing in the finals. They're going to be a pro, and they want to prove to people that they can win a championship. And Steph knows I'm one behind LeBron. That's 4. So I just say, man, somebody gonna have to. The Phoenix is right there too. It's gonna be tough.
If Steph win a ring, he a top 5 point guard all time. Top 3.
Man, listen,
I
I
give him
mean, you're
top
gonna have to
3.
put him up there. I mean, yeah.
listen. I've seen a list where it had Russ, CP3, Leonard, Isaiah. It was like a list of top 10 point guard. And Steph wasn't considered a point guard. They put him as a shooting guard. Like he's like Iverson, tweener. And I'm like, well, he's a point guard. He's technically just a
He's a point guard. He's a scoring point guard. That's what he
scoring.
is.
Yeah, so that's like as a new age point guard. Like you can't take him off that list. You gotta
Yeah,
put him over
exactly.
there.
He's a
Like
scoring
not
point guard.
now AI got moved from point to 2 guard. So he's different than Steph. But Steph is redefined that position. Like he's definitely top 3 to me because Isaiah Thomas shot just as much as Steph Curry. He just didn't shoot it like he shot it.
I
Like
mean,
so,
yeah. Who's y'all number 1 point guard of all time then?
Magic.
Chris
Magic
Paul.
Johnson.
Nah,
Magic
Magic.
Johnson.
He said Chris Paul. I ain't trying to throw that. Hey, I feel your loyalty over there, Tyler. I feel it. But yeah, the Golden State Warriors, they deadly. Even Peyton, Gary Payton, second
Wait.
man, he been
Can we go
playing
back to
well
the point
too.
guard thing? Can we go back to the point guard thing? Hold on one
Yeah.
second. I gotta say this. I don't like Magic Johnson. I think Magic Johnson, to me, he's a great point guard. But if I had to just choose a point guard in his prime and healthy, I'm taking Penny Hardaway.
Oh,
I'm taking
Penny,
Penny.
man,
That's
Penny was
that's
special.
that's a Magic Johnson with athleticism.
And
Yes. Damn
I
Magic
hated for
Johnson.
him. I hated
You
for him.
know, in prime, I mean, if I got to pick between the two in their prime, I'm going with Penny. But unfortunately, Penny, he just
Yeah.
didn't have
Yep.
That
the
was Shaq and Kobe before Shaq and Kobe.
It was Shaq and Penny. He had his own name. Kobe got Penny's autograph as a kid. So it's to me, I think Penny, I'm like him. Penny just is like Derrick Rose and a few other guys, man. What could have been?
All right, so it's just really unfortunate for Penny because he would definitely be in the Hall of Fame if his career
I
wasn't
don't
shortened by
understand though,
injuries.
man. Grant Hill's in the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
How?
I think the thing that saved Grant Hill really was being on that Phoenix Suns
Yeah.
team with
Okay.
Steve Nash. I think that's what saved him, but Penny didn't. He didn't have that. He didn't have that. Because I think I forgot where did he go? Like Houston or something after the Magic.
He went to a lot of places, but I
Yeah.
think they do your total body of work too, as far as
Yeah.
college and NBA. The NBA is weird, man. They let anybody in.
I know it's hard to gauge NBA standings on Hall of Fame.
nah, man, you got some wild NBA. You got some wild Hall of Fame standards, man. I ain't gonna.
I do have some high standards. I get high standards overall for
Who was that,
NFL.
Dustin? Who was that? He said wasn't in the Hall of. He said Chris Bosh wasn't gonna make it, bro.
Oh yeah.
It was unaware. He wasn't even first ballot, like I said.
He was first ballot. What you mean?
then he turned around and said Tim Hardaway was gonna get in before him.
Hey, that's a slight, man. Tim Hardaway should have been in for Chris Bosh, bro.
he should be in the Hall of Fame. He definitely
Tim
should.
Hardaway, man. Come on, guys.
I mean,
All right, so since the NBA season is winding on down, I think it's making it a little bit easier for people to vote for MVP. RC, who's your MVP this year?
Embiid, Joel Embiid.
Yes. See, we thinking on the same page finally. I have Embiid too. Dustin, who you have?
I got DeMar DeRozan. That's what I'm going with. That's what I be going
That
for.
was you signed with Skip, huh?
Hey, man, whoever I'm signing with, whoever going with DeMar for MVP.
Tyler, who you have?
I got Joel. Mhm.
Okay. So look like everybody on the same page except for Dustin. Y'all got to beat all ball. And B just been dominant, man. He literally is the best. Him and Jokic are the best big man in the league. And B, he just took his game to another level. He threw in a little splash of Kobe. I don't know y'all saw it on highlights of his fadeaway. I mean, he worked on that
Yeah, he
day
really
and
been in my
night.
bag, huh, Ben?
Huh?
He really playing like me, huh?
Man, I don't know. You play more like Eric Snow.
Hey, bro, watch out, bro.
So man,
Yeah,
I think you gonna have to give it to him.
all I'm saying is, what was it? DeMar had over 9 games, 35, over 50% shooting, and they number 2 in the East.
And he loved the 15-foot jump. I love watching him play.
It's
Oh,
pretty
that
too. Their
that
mid
elbow
range
jumper,
pretty
that elbow jumper is money every time. He hit
wet.
it. I don't care how you go up with it. It's money.
Yeah, that's true. The boy, he been balling, man. He put the Bulls back on the map. But it
LeBron,
just
I
was.
know LeBron just be sick watching Chicago.
Oh man,
I know he
I
be
know he
sick.
was
I
going. He
know he
wanted
be sick.
DeMar.
I know he
DeMar,
be sick watching
DeMar,
Chicago.
DeMar said I'd take a pay cut to go to Los Angeles.
He
He
did.
did say that. He did
What's so
say that.
weird about that though? He wanted to go to LA, then all of a sudden he switched.
No,
I
he
don't
didn't
know what
switch.
happened.
He did
He
not
didn't
switch.
switch. The Lakers didn't want him.
They got one
I
player
thought they
instead of 2.
wanted.
They got the $42 million contract from Russ. You got that. You absorb that money, and then you start going out getting. You start playing. Let's get the team back together. Let's go pick up my friends. With LeBron James, you going out and get guys like Melo and all these different guys, man. Like it should have been Buddy Hield and DeRozan, and we'll be having a different conversation about LA.
Yeah, we would have. I worried that the Lakers gonna get Buddy Hield and fortify that lineup, man.
Man,
But
I'm telling you, DeRozan would have shined in
they
LA.
dropped the ball.
He would have took shine from LeBron, man. I'm telling y'all, I know that sound like a conspiracy theory, but I think LeBron understands where he's at for statistically, man. It's like that dude would have been taking shots from him. Because he's different.
He definitely different. He mostly definitely is. So it just it's crazy how everything's come forward later on in the season, how everything's panned out. All right, guys. The show comes close to a close. Anything else y'all want to bring up?
No, man, this is good, man. I enjoy doing this with you guys. You guys are awesome.
And we enjoy you having your own, man.
Yes,
Definitely
sir.
adding another voice to the podcast who
Somebody
knows his stuff.
talk some sense in the bin sometimes.
Man,
Right.
look, I brought RC on. Kyle Hogan will be on my side, but now I have 3 versus 1. It don't even be right now. I gotta
you sound like Kendrick Perkins sometimes. You're like, man, what are you saying, man?
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take being the oddball one. I don't mind, so I can handle it. Thank you guys for tuning in to the show. Like and subscribe to our social media accounts. They will be located in the show notes. Also, we have a merchandise store now. Check it out on podsquadinc.com. Thank you guys for the love and support. We out of here.
You are listening to Voice of the Fans Sportscast, brought to you by none other than the voices of the fans. Discussing football, basketball, news, trending topics. The one-stop shop for all things sports. Voice of the Fans Sportscast. Hosted by none other than Ben Swift Reynolds, Taylor Gatwood,